Came into Glasgow city centre today just to see the carnage that I witnessed from the comforts of my living room yesterday. Alex Cairnie was kind enough to supply me with a lot of footage as it was happening. I've got a short interview, caught up with Alex to get his opinions and sort of first-hand explanation of what he witnessed last night and today as we walked these streets of Glasgow. The devastation that we all saw last night was catastrophic, and it gave everybody a jolt. But until I came into the city today, I didn't really grasp the scale of it. And as you come round this city, you just see shock in people's faces as they see it themselves. So I've taken some pictures today, and that when Alex is talking, I'll show you some of the videos from last night again. But this, from where that fire started to where it reached, I can't believe it. I can't believe it's such an innocuous fire with such devastation, and the fears between others and talking to others of what might happen to that building. Just can't see it being rectified. So I'm glad I've come in today. This is my city. And what disturbed me when I was down where the mainstream media people are, I've seen certain, I'll talk about it in the interview with Alex, but politicians standing, holding court with the mainstream media. And I'm not falling for it. You'll see them tonight in your TV screens when the national news is played out up here. And you'll see these people all concerned, and I'm not an idiot. I know there's an election coming up in a few weeks' time for the Scottish Parliament with MSPs. And don't be fooled with the ones that you see in your streets tonight. So Alec, last night you were kind enough, you were in this city centre, you were feeding me almost live footage, sending me as soon as you'd recorded that. I was able to put that out and allowed a lot of people to see what was happening in the city centre. Could you just tell me two things? One, what was it actually like last night? What did you witness? And two, we wandered around the city again this morning. What's your reactions to the situation now?
So I arrived in the city just before 4 o'clock yesterday, and I witnessed the initial very small fire, which looked to anybody to be easily distinguished and controllable. But that wasn't the case. I went a walk, and by the time I came back it was an inferno. Within an hour or so we could see flames. The smoke was horrific. It was acrid all over the city, and the police just systematically locked down block by block by block and pushed people back. I was parked 6 blocks away, and the embers and the ash were falling onto the vehicles up at the top of the city. And the fire just took hold and just basically ripped through the entire building. I heard and I witnessed 4 explosions. I felt the ground shake. I seen the building collapse. I seen the dome collapse. There were multiple explosions, inexplicable explosions. Whatever was in that building, was clearly highly volatile. I've got no idea what item being stored in a vape shop would explode with that ferocity and shake the inside of a building built like that, thousands of tons of stone, and literally take the side off a building.
And you've returned here today, and although I seen all the footage last night, I was still, the scale of it didn't really hit me until I walked these streets today. How did you feel with somebody that's seen both last night destruction and the aftermath today?
Unbelievable, tragic. I'm a great admirer of architecture. Glasgow's one of the greatest cities in the world for stonemasonry, and to see that level of destruction for something so insignificant as a vape shop, there's a bigger story behind it. Successive governments have destroyed the high streets, and landlords who have their lives invested in bricks and mortar are now exposing themselves to all sorts of negligent tenants who will bypass regulations and fire regs and building regs and self-modify buildings and remove supporting structures. I've seen it all done in this city. I've seen buildings collapse because they've been turned illegally into HMOs and they've caved in. That's well documented. And when landlords are desperate for revenue, they will rent these unoccupied premises to anybody, and it's very, very sad, but it needs addressed. And more importantly, the legislations and fire regs and gas certs and electrical certs, there has to be a major shift and a bill in Parliament that enforces this, because from my knowledge there is nothing done on any. I've never had a commercial premises checked by anybody. It's up to you to do things right, to protect the people above you staying in flats above you as a tenant. So it's horrendous that you can feel the impact on people. Yep, life goes on, people will carry on. Glasgow's a great city in the face of adversity, but how many businesses, dozens of businesses have been lost today, and people's lost their livelihoods. Who's going to support these people moving forward? So it's just a tragedy of errors, from poor tenancy all the way up to the higher end of the spectrum of legislative power. It's just diabolical.
Talking about establishment, there was something that we witnessed that I just found mildly amusing and frustrating at the same time, and that was somebody, I'm not even going to name her, an MSP out there, to all the mainstream media, putting herself in front of camera with the, I'm my city and all that carry on with an election a few weeks away. It upset me because I don't think they would know what's going on in this city, but they do a camera opportunity, photo opportunity when there's destruction.
Well, they turn out in droves. You could see the numbers of people in the news channels, and all these, politicians, whoever they are, MSPs, members of the council, they're all down here for the views and the clickbait, and they'll all be down here on expenses, making sure their lunch is covered. Do they really care? I don't think they do care. Where's the First Minister? Why has he not been here? This is a major catastrophe. It's a major event. And these people in power, these people that apparently represent this great city, should be here, and they're not. They're only here to churn out a little bit of social media and get the views.
So they pumped every building, they covered every building because the heat was transferring, obviously. They were spraying the building on the opposite side of the street.
I mean, the thing